Hey traders, hope you guys are doing well. John Hal here. In this video, I'm going to share with you, I'm going to go over Google stock update for you guys. Anything I do say in this video, guys, is no advice at all. I'm educating you on what I see in the charts right now. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow or even next week. No one really does, right? That's the game. That's the game of trading. Even when you have a very successful trading system, you never know what trade is going to work out, right? So you get the point. Trading is risky. It could smack your ass big time. I've been there plenty of times. All right, guys. If you're after a free trading course, if you're after some coaching for me, all the links are in the description. There we go, guys. Let's actually get straight into Google. So firstly, let's actually go look at Google on the weekly chart, and let me share with you what I see on Google on the weekly chart. So the first thing we can see on Google on the weekly chart is this. Firstly, we have this overall major trend line coming to the high side through there. We did have like a little bit of a trend line through there, didn't we? Right, so we had that major trend line through there. So what we're seeing right now here on Google is actually really interesting. I've just drawn my trend line. So we have that trend line through there. And then if I open my chart up a bit more, and let me just bring this, let me open, again, we're looking at the weekly chart. What are we doing on the weekly chart first, guys? Whenever you're analyzing your stock, if you're looking at the trade in the daily chart, you want to go to the weekly chart to identify the overall major areas of parameters. Parameters or areas where the market might find support and resistance levels. Make sense? And I would have to say that, let's just take that trend line off there because it's not, wrong one, because it's not as relevant as what I want to see right now. So we're going to go with this one right here. Let's see if I can, and again, what you want to do is you want to draw your trend lines to see if you can get the most relevant or most relevant trend line that you can see through there. And possibly even, I have to say something through there where we pick up that little low through there, that low through there, that low through there. So we're actually getting very, very, very close, right? And as you can see, this is what I very first do. If I'm analyzing a stock that I'm looking to get into, once I identify an entry on the daily chart, I have my scans and stuff like that. But once I identify my entry on the daily chart, then I'm going to go to the weekly chart to identify these areas, these major areas of parameters, because this here, right now I can see, oh, look what's happening with Google. Right, we actually have this area of support and resistance through here, and then we also have this area of support and resistance through here. See where the market's actually, it's sort of held through there, but we came down, found support. In the last few weeks, we've been finding support through here. Make sense? So now we know that we've got our parameters or our boundaries, or what I call charting boundaries. We've got our charting boundaries where we know not to trade against. So if I go back to my daily chart and I'm looking at this stock through here right now, I would know to go short on Google would be a very low probability trade, right? Now, I definitely wouldn't be going short on Google right now because of what's happening. There's definitely no trade here. And again, no one knows what's going to happen, and support levels do get broken. But as we see right now, we're actually holding a level of support, but we're also coming down to this level, the level of trend line through here as well too. So if you're looking for a trade on, say, Google, and you apply this analysis to any stock out there, if this market does run down, it has this trend line through here has a really good chance of it then ricocheting back to the high side. In fact, if you actually can see this level through here, if the market does start to run down through here a little bit and then hold and rally back up, that's likely to be what we call like a false breakout, and then we could probably see a bit more run to the high side. So depending on what the Nasdaq, I would say, is doing right now, but you can see here on Google overall, we're getting a lot of sideways movement, and we could get a breakdown. But what's happening right now as well too, as I said before, guys, that we are getting this overall, trend line that's coming into play right now, right here. Let me see if I can identify that on the daily chart a bit more. There we go, through there. So as you can see, this is a really, really strong trend line, and this a lot of support line. So there's a lot of support here on Google. So therefore, guys, going long right now, you wouldn't go long, and this is where like identifying high probability trades, right? I wouldn't say go long. Why? Because we are actually starting to get momentum on the downside. We are swinging to the downside. I wouldn't say go short on Google. Why? Because if the market does, going short right now is a very low probability trade because the overall trend has been up, plus trend lines, all these support lines through here. Makes sense? So that's what I see. Well, that's what I'm talking about right now. You know, next week we can start to get like a completely different story, and every day is changing when it comes to the markets. But right now, as I speak, momentum's starting to shift down, but we're getting these long-term support levels coming into play, and it could easily just start to do this as well too. So there we go, guys. A bit of a stock overview for you guys. What's happening with Google right now?